Masampanayang adlaw, madawgan nga kurawon, pagkahangulang tawo, pagkarakeng alawon. A pleasant day to all my brothers and sisters at sa lahat ng mga Pilipino na nanunood ngayon. I am Jesus Katigan Insilada. Igtaman is my mountain name, which means someone was so much to tell. I do hope that in this conversation, I could tell you something about the Baylan, colonization, and healing. I am a proud member of the Panay Bukidnon Indigenous Cultural Community. The Panay Bukidnon is one of the two indigenous peoples groups here in Panay Island, Visayas Group of Islands, Philippines. The other one is the Ati. My great-grandfather on my father's side, Macario Insilada, was from Isabela and Escalante, Negros Occidental, while his wife, Paulina Lial, was from Barangay Misi, Lambunao, Iloilo. My great-grandfather on my mother's side was Teodoro Ador Chiva, former Castor, but was adopted by the Chiba family who were his first cousins. Ador married Francisca Ica Gurantes, whose roots can be traced in Maasin, Iloilo. Lolo Ador's original places were the remotest barangays of Kalinog, Iloilo, and Tapaz, Capiz, namely Taganhin and Igtambo. I remember my Iwaw Ingo, my mother's father, who was a sought-after manughilot, or healer through massage and body manipulation, and a paltira, taking the role of a midwife. He was a manugluya, or healer, who uses a ginger in the ritual of communicating to the Saragudon or pet spirits. Pet spirits are responsible for healing common ailments such as stomachache, headache, and body pains, and also serious illnesses. I remember my Uwaw Ingo telling me that the title Baylan is the highest title a healer can get. He did not want to be called a Baylan. He preferred to be called a Manugluya and a Paltera. Uwaw Minang from Leon, Iloilo, who married the cousin of my father's mother, said that to be a Baylan requires much responsibility and accountability. She would also correct those who are considering her as a Baylan. Her ancestors were Baylan, and she said that she doesn't want to tell them that she is a Baylan. She would just let time make her a Baylan, a real Baylan, through successful healings and rituals that she performs. One does not choose to be a Baylan. The spirits do. Today, there are healers that people call Baylan. Their practices have survived persecution from the colonizers. My ancestors related that they had to perform Baylanism or Baylanism secretly. As Christian converts, the Baylan would assimilate Baylanism with Christian beliefs and practices as they continue to wrestle and negotiate with the different forces coming from the internal colonization. Part of the negotiation is the reimagination of the Baylan because contexts have changed through time. History would tell us that Baylan during the pre-colonization were mostly women and asog or effeminate men. Some became leaders of uprising against the empire forces. And then we had the Pulahanes. Then they were called as cult, and now we have healers who offer services for money. They are supposed to collect a sanag or an amount or money from the heart for the Baylan subsistence. Today, the Panayanon continue to negotiate with the forces and changes brought about by modernization and internal colonization that have affected their families, their lives, and their communities. Their faith is highly influenced by Christianity, but they try to blend their old practices with Christian practices. One example is when they perform their panimadon during planting or before harvest. They pray and they decide according to the position of the Pakunawa or the lunar dragon, and they pray using a cross covered with black cloth. Black is a color of purity. When we pray, we use black to express our purest intentions. It is believed that when we close our eyes, when we sleep, and when death comes, there is an expanse of darkness, of blackness. It is the point towards purification. Through prayers, our transition to the spirit world is our transition to the purest version of ourselves.